Hello, this is Mr. Acid, and welcome to 7 Days to Die. This is the Desperado game play through. Yeah, Desperado. So basically, this one is all desert, for the most part. And there's a few other things that I'll get to in a minute or so, momentarily. Yeah, something. So, in addition to it being all desert, to keep with kind of a sci-fi western feel, I'm only going to allow myself to use, as far as weapons go, things that make sense. What the hell? Okay, that's not right. Oh, no, okay, I get it. Oopsie doopsie. Yes, I know what the deal with that is. So one of the other things that distracted me, what the hell was I saying? Oh yes, I'm only allowed to use like revolvers, single and double barrel shotguns, because mods I have, there's single barrel in here. Hunting rifles, yeah, basically like Old West weapons, but I'm cool to use any variants of them, but I can't use things like SMGs. No full automatics. I can use bigger versions of guns, but they have to be single shot. So if I do find like automatic weapons, I cannot use them unless I find a semi-auto mod, so it goes down to be one shot per pull of the trigger. Which may seem a bit weird, but I didn't want to put too many restrictions on weapons in, because kind of this is supposed to be kind of a jack of all trades sort of a playthrough, but I do want to kind of preserve that sci-fi western kind of a feel is what I'm going for here. So it's all desert biome. Weaponry, I can't use anything automatic. I can use a pump shotgun, but I can't use the auto shotgun. You know, that sort of thing. And there's no airdrops. Experience is turned down. And what caught me off guard with the starter crate there is that I also have loot turned to 50%. So this is going to be less of a run and gun sort of playthrough. I'm going to have to be a lot more meticulous, I think. If nothing else, I'm not going to really be able to rely much on looting. I'm going to have to do a lot of questing and, you know, I'm going to have to be very careful about food. So farming, I think, will be very important in this particular playthrough. As far as melee weapons are concerned, That I've had to struggle with a little bit because they are, for the most part, weapons that you would have found at any point in history, right? So I have a hard time saying, oh, I can't use a club or a spear or whatever, because people would have used those weapons. If that's all they had, that's what they would have used at any point in history. I mean, a sharpened stick is quite literally, or a big blunt stick, a club, or a very basic spear. I mean, that's the first weapons right there, other than just using your fists, obviously. No trader around. This might have also been one where I put in very few traders. So you know, I'm going to have to be very careful about how I play this particular game. My usual just barrel through like a raging bull or whatever approach is not going to work too much. And not because of the zombie difficulty, although I do have it at warrior difficulty, but with the headshot mod. So they're very tough if you don't hit them in the head. As long as you get those headshots in, they'll drop pretty quickly. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to rely much on looting. Ooh, 206 experience for a zombie kill. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to ignore any food. Normally I would toss away that stuff ignored because the way I usually play, there's plenty of food around, but in this case, no easy road. Yeah. I'm also going to allow myself to use crossbows just because, again, they would have been something that people would have had available or could have made, since they've been around since medieval times and before. I mean, crossbows have been around for a very long time. That's a good one, since that'll allow me to eat. How do these work? Takes away health, but it gives you food. Not sure how I feel about that. Nice way to whiff it. That's good. Couple of med kits, that's nice. Oh boy. Again, if you haven't watched any of my other gameplay, and you wonder perhaps why I close doors behind me, that does cut off my escape route, potentially, but at the same time it prevents anybody from coming in behind me. If you're familiar with this POI and you're going like, why isn't there a vulture there? Because I use a mod to get rid of certain creatures, zombies in the game that just irritate me. The vultures, there are just certain things in the game, like the vultures, that to me they don't add any challenge necessarily, they're just irritating. So yeah, things like the vultures, demolition zombies, some of the animals like the wolves and dogs, they just piss me off. You know, it's just how often they're attacking you before you have any chance to do anything about it. Like the vultures, that's what they do. They hit you from behind when you have no way of dealing with them, more often than not. And yes, that is a screamer up there, because I'm using another mod that spawns in screamers, although their actual screaming ability doesn't seem to work for those. It only seems to work if they spawn in as a scout. But they're creepy little sons of bitches, or just creepy little bitches, so putting them in as a regular spawn adds to the spooky factor to me. Although they do go down easier. Bloody well die. For this playthrough, that's actually a really good find. I do not have enough stone to make a shovel. Great. That's actually nice. Doesn't really work any better than this, since this one hits a lot faster. Crowbar, very good. Very, very good. Let's see what we got in here, and not a lot. As expected. Like I said, I've got loot turned down. I think I turned it down to 50%. So, yeah, loot is not going to be particularly abundant. I do not use those. How does this stack up to the club? It's fast, very, very fast, with a low stamina cost, but way, way less damage. The club, on the other, the crowbar is a good club, so Of course, at this point, I have no way to repair it. I am well aware that that is not efficient. That's not what I'm doing it for. Let's see, I do have my starting points. Again, I use mods to change a lot of things. I find the progression in the game point-wise rather slow. In this case, since I have the XP turned down, I expect my leveling to be slow. But there will be other ways to get points. Adjust these a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get Miner 69er, Sexy T-Rex. I tend to default to using clubs a lot because they are the... To me, I think the clubs are the best melee weapon in the game. The combination of speed, power to put enemies down, knock them down, put them down, and kill them, and stamina use, to me, is the best combination. Skull Crusher, you know, sledgehammers will knock enemies down and put them out faster in many cases. You can one-shot kill with them a lot, but they are so damn slow and they eat up so much stamina. Spears, you know, I use a mod that boosts their damage to put them on par with other weapons. Because spears early game are okay, but as you get later in the game, the damage potential on them is bad. So the mod I use, it doesn't make them powerful, super powerful or anything, it just makes them on par with the other weapons. The problem I have with the spears is that their power attack is you throw it, which means it's so fucking easy to lose them. The stun baton actually is not bad at all, but it takes a while to get one a lot of the time, unless you get lucky at a trader. You're not going to find one of these in the wild, a stun baton in the wild, for quite a while, because they haven't added in the first tier and third tier versions yet, the junk baton and the plasma baton. The code is actually in the files. I've looked at it, but they are not added into the game yet because I don't know if they haven't finished that stuff or if it's just because they don't have special icons for them. I'm not sure what the reason is. But the code for the weapons is there. They just haven't implemented it yet. They haven't put it into the loot tables and stuff. I don't know why. So the only stun baton in the game is the tier... Well, no, tier 0, tier 1, and... Or would it be tier 1 and tier 3? Or tier 2 and tier 3, rather. The regular stun baton is tier 2, not 1. So yeah, they haven't added in like the tier 1 and tier 3 versions, the junk and plasma batons. So it can take a really long time to get that stun baton. Or maybe the junk baton is supposed to be tier 0 and the plasma baton tier 2. Whatever the case may be, it's the one in the middle is the only one in the game currently implemented in the game, so it takes a long time to get one. So that's the big problem with the batons. Because even though their base damage is actually pretty bad, when the stunning part, the electricity goes off, they do quite a bit of damage. And knives is probably the second best melee weapon because they're fast, they don't use a lot of stamina, but they don't kill fast, and they do not put enemies down. That's really, to me, the main drawback of the knives, is that they do not knock... You have no ability to knock enemies down with bladed weapons. Really. I mean, maybe you can put the weighted head on mod on. And that one, I believe, gives you a chance to knock enemies down. I don't know if you can put that on some of them or not. I'm not a super expert on the game. But anyway, let's get into this. I like to go parkour too ASAP because I love the extra mobility it gives you. Right, so I was going to make a shovel. The boot forgot. I was just being silly. Sometimes I'd be silly and say things like a boot. Oot in a boot. But yeah, it's already getting kind of late. I believe I also left random horde nights on. So I think it can be anything from 4 to 7, or possibly 3 to 6. I forget the settings I put on that. Go ahead and now, thanks to parkour, I don't have to worry a whole lot about falling, damage, as long as it's not too high up. Somebody with it. Yes, shelf-stable milk. Tastes nasty, but I suppose when you're in the apocalypse, you take what you can get. I'm not going to question it. And I say this pretty much every time it happens, but sorry for when I go quiet. Generally that happens because I'm trying to listen. Or just focusing on whatever it is I happen to be doing. This is one of those houses that has quite a few zombies in it, but apparently it is just a remnant. I can't help but think that this is a combo pack POI that, for whatever reason, they feel a need to put way too many zombies in them, in my opinion. Because unless I just happened to miss something that was hidden, there was absolutely nothing worthwhile here. But there was, what, 4 or 5 zombies inside? Some pants would be nice. Not happening though. Gotta get some cobblestone. best early game building material you can get. Cobblestone. Thought there would be a guy in here. Apparently not. Pants. No pants. Pants? Yay. That'll do. Boots. Shoes. Oh. Well, that was another thing. As soon as I find cowboy hat, I have to wear it. Preferably the mod so I can have head armor on. But until I find one of those, if I find a cowboy hat, I have to wear the cowboy hat. Again, to preserve the sci-fi western feel I'm going for. Although, in actuality, the kind of hat that people associate with cowboys is not really what they would have. The boiler hat, I believe, the dirt hat is actually what would have been the most common, popular type of hat. And generally whatever was trendy at the time. So, honestly, what I've got on now, the press boy cap, would have been fairly common. But you would have seen wide-brimmed hats as well. The typical wide-brimmed cowboy hat, because it does help keep the sun off your face. Which, when you're out in the sun a lot, is good. Now, if you think that this is too easy, like, oh, you're lying about the settings or something. I mean, see how many hits it took to the body to actually drop the guy? I mean, that was quite a few hits. The only reason why I'm putting him down as easy as it seems like I am is because I'm using head hits. Now, these motherfuckers, it does not... Jesus Christ. That's not helpful at the moment. Some repair kits would be really nice. Nope. Some blunderbuss ammo for blunderbuss I do not have. Alright, let's take stock of what we got here. I do have some canned food I can go ahead and chow down on. Stuff like the chicken soup and the broth and anything that gives you both food and water is always good, but it's going to be super important, I think, on this one, because just trying to keep both up is going to be a pain in the ass. Probably. We're already getting into the latter part of the day. We've only got a little bit of time before it gets really late. Let's take a look at the map. So, not really in a very populated area. And going out at night with all the stuff I've got in this game right now, between modded zombies and the settings, going out after 2200 would be absolute suicide. But I do see another house over here that I can get into. And, this isn't a house, it's the rest stop. Shite. I mean, the plus side is that there's not much in here. The downside is that there's not much in here. I knew there'd be one in here. I knew exactly where it'd be. Oh yes, and the other problem with this one is that it is very wide open. Possibly I could turn this into a base, but there doesn't seem to be much around here. I can't tell if this is a full-size city or not. I would imagine it is, and I was just on the outskirts of it. But it's kind of hard to tell. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and do what I can to fortify this a bit, because they shouldn't be able to squeeze through there. I mean, I sure as hell wouldn't be able to. Then again, apparently I can. Okay. That is fairly fortified. Well, let's just duck down over in the corner here and stay bloody well quiet. Do I have any painkillers? No, I don't. Have I leveled up at all? No, I have not. Oh, this is a very different playthrough for me. Go ahead and eat the nasty ass cat food. Alrighty then. I'm going to go ahead and make another wooden club because this is not going to last very long. I can put that barbed wire mod on it. That'll be helpful. Scrap that down. Get rid of those for now. Get rid of that for now. Turn that into duct tape because that's more useful. Currently, glue is really only useful for making duct tape and mods, if memory serves. I'm not going to be making glue anytime soon, so get rid of that. Alrighty. So, I mean, I found some stuff. I'll be able to sell this if I ever find a damn trader. But I did put the set it, you know, when I made the map with nitrogen, I put it so that there would be very few, you know, a few traders. There's not very many of them in this world. So, this is going to be potentially kind of a nomadic game. Kind of a jack-of-all-trades, nomad sort of playthrough. Now, if I find a trader next to a good-sized settlement, I'll probably make a base there. In fact, I definitely would. But, go ahead and put my bedroll down. I'm using a mod that heals you slowly from your bedroll. But, I mean, look at how, you know, how slow that ticks up. This is not a fast way to heal, but it does give you a way to heal up over time when you're at your home base. So yeah, I think that's it for this day. So that's going to be it for this episode. It's definitely a bit on the tenser side than I usually play because, you know, I usually prefer a bit more of a faster, higher octane, level up fast, loot fast, you know, get into the mix of it with the zombies fast sort of play style, but this is going to have to be a bit more careful than I usually play. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video, and leave comments because that helps the video get seen by other people. That's how YouTube's algorithms determine that videos are being seen as the activity on them. And let me know what your favorite way to play 7 Days to Die is in the comments. You know, I like changing things up with different challenges. To me, it's not so much a challenge as a role-playing thing. You know, or different, you know, thematic elements, if you will. So, do you like playing vanilla? Just all your settings cranked up, hardest difficulty? You like playing it casual, lower settings? You like doing challenges? You like doing lots of mods or no mods? You know, just let me know how you like playing 7 Days to Die in the comments. And if you have any ideas for challenges or things, let me know. I already have a big list of things that for playthroughs that I have ideas for. But if, more ideas is always good, because I really do enjoy playing this game, and I like mixing it up in different ways when I play it. So let me know how you like to play, and if you have any ideas, and the ones that sound fun to me, I'll put on my list. So once more, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. So long. See you later.